This year I attended COE's also event, and along with meeting a lot of top players and making friends, I brought home a lot of memories for you guys to see, as well as tips if you plan on attending next year as well. Firstly, I recommend that you travel with your friends, or at least have someone you plan to spend your time with there, as the event itself doesn't have much to offer besides the pre-planned activities and booths that are accessible 24/7. As for me, I traveled on my own and planned to meet with a few friends and spend time with them, and I can say that I don't regret that. This video will follow my timeline, from traveling to the Netherlands all the way until going home. I woke up early due to me being excited about traveling outside of the country for the first time on a plane, and slowly checked my already packed bag to see if everything was there. I got to the airport around 11 AM and left my bags. Long story short, I almost got on the wrong flight to Abu Dhabi, but everything went perfectly fine after that. Being on the plane for the first time was interesting, and I booked myself the window seat so I can look outside and record this footage that I'm showing you guys. One thing that freaked me out was how, when there was turbulence, the plane wing would move around, and that really scared me, but eventually figured out that that was normal, and went on to listen to the music and enjoy the view. I landed around 2:30 PM and I was ready to hit the streets of Eindhoven in search of a bus to take me to the train station, and from the train station to Den Bosch. The Netherlands had a really organized system, and I was able to get to Den Bosch without any trouble after trying to figure out how to use the train ticket system and somehow buying a €25 train ticket when they were supposed to be around €5. I almost even got on the wrong train simply because I was too dumb to follow the instructions on my phone. However, a nice local helped me and I got to Den Bosch quickly. One thing I recommend is that if you do travel, bring a bag with wheels. I carried 10 kilos of my luggage, plus another 5 in my hand luggage, which contained my air mattress, and I wanted to die by the time I started walking from the train station to the place of the event. And I had to get my friend Cookie Zeki to come help me with my stuff, and I thank you a lot for that. After I came to the event itself, I had COE put on a band that showed that I had all week access to the event, and after I left my stuff in the staff area, I was free to do whatever. I was really confused on what to do. The place was huge and I was all alone. My other friend who I planned to meet up was not even close to the event yet, and I had no one to hang out with except Cookie, who I ended up following around for a little bit. While I was doing that, a random person came up and introduced themselves to me, and I learned that his name is Tease. He, just like me, came to the event alone and was just looking around, so we decided to stick with each other, at least until my friend arrived. After my friend Casey arrived, the three of us just hung around, sitting down by the sleeping area and talking to each other, trying to figure out what the hell were we gonna do for 7 days in the Netherlands. I was trying to contact my friend P46, which I'm gonna call Ryan from now on, but we couldn't really get in touch due to him coming all the way from the US and not being able to constantly be online on his phone or on his PC. Oh yeah, I left a small detail. I didn't even have a BYOC ticket. I just had a regular full week ticket with the sleeping area. The rest of the first day was a bit hazy, but all I recall is going to bed around 10-11 PM with Tease, listening to Sotark screaming to the mic during karaoke when I was trying to sleep, and freezing my ass off in the sleeping area. I woke up around 6-7 AM and Tease was already awake, and the two of us were set on trying to find a place to go get breakfast after showering at the event. We met up in the BYOC area with the guy named Tim, who was also a staff member, and codenamed Tim was his exact name since there were a lot of Tims at the event, and went to find an Alba Hygiene, which was a supermarket near the event, and when I say near, I meant a 20-minute walk there. Watching this route brings up a lot of memories of walking here with Tease and Ryan, going to the store to buy snacks, breakfast, alcohol, etc. After we came back, we decided to go and see where the nearest Lidl was, which ended up being around 20-ish minutes of walking again, and while exiting the event, we noticed someone following us. They were obviously from the event, but they were alone and seemingly confused on where they can get food, etc. That turned out to be a dude called Alimero, and he came all the way from Germany by bus to the event by himself, and had basically spent the whole day alone, so we invited him to tag along with us on our little trip. While I was on my way there, I was trying to get in touch with a friend I met in the event Discord called Jean, who is a French mapper and a really cool dude. Unfortunately, even though we ended up being in the same Lidl as him and a bunch of other French people, I was too shy to approach them and ask for Jean, so that was put off for another day. While on my way back from Lidl, I finally got a response from Ryan saying that he was close to the hill and that I can come there and chill with him and other friends. These and Alimero didn't want to go to the hill, so I split off and went by myself, and that's where I met Salty and Vanilla, two Polish dudes that Ryan met the day prior, and they hung out together. I basically fit right in with them, and we went on to hang out together the whole day in BYOC and on the hill. I met my friend Badeu and we talked for a while, and after the sun went down we went to the hill. I would say what we did on the hill, but what happens there, stays there. After chilling all day with my newfound friends, I went to bed at around 11 PM. I woke up early, ready for the upcoming Efteling amusement park trip, and after showering and leaving my mattress in the staff area, I sat on Ryan's PC for a bit and watched some YouTube until tea showed up, and we planned our day at Efteling. Unfortunately, Ryan had slept in, and I couldn't find him in the sleeping area in time, so we had to leave without him. At the entrance of Efteling, I met another cool person by the name of Sol Azul. He also came from the US, and we ended up spending the whole day in Efteling together, and even played some Mario Kart once we got back and Casey showed up. I got my ass whooped, but it was fun. Throughout the day, I finally managed to go and say hi to Jean, who ended up being a really nice guy, and I had a nice time talking to him. After all that, Badeu showed up asking if we were gonna order some food, and we ended up ordering a family-sized Domino's pepperoni pizza, which we all shared together while joking around. Ryan, Salty, Casey and I went to the hill later that night and had a blast. Long story short, woke up a bit late, took a shower, hung out for a bit in the BYOC area before going to meet the man that was going to take me and my friends to the arcade. His name was Orange Banana, and he turned out to be a pretty cool guy, and he didn't mind taking all of us to the arcade. When we all got into the car, it was completely full. The car had 5 passengers, me, Casey, Ryan, Orange Banana, and a dude named Ziff, and we all got to learn a bit more about each other while on our way to the arcade and back. When we got there, I got to play all sorts of arcade games, both rhythm and non-rhythm. I got to play Tetris against Casey on an actual arcade machine, 1v1 on Halo 1, played the original Smash, etc. The whole experience was amazing, and I'll remember it forever. But that was only the beginning of our really long night, since a whole bunch of people who went to the arcade also went to the after party, which was set at a really nice bar near the train station. Ryan, Salty, Vanilla and I sat down at the bar. Unfortunately, Casey wasn't able to join us since he wasn't 18, but next year he'll be joining us for sure. We started chatting with the bartender while getting some beers, and I'm not usually big on beers, but he offered Ryan this fruity beer which I ended up trying from him, and I bought myself a half pint of it. Along with that, we drank some Red Bull Jaeger shots and we started getting into the mood of things, when all of a sudden Whipdash, who's another known community member, started buying rounds of beer for the entire bar, and since I didn't really like that beer I skipped, but others had a great time. Ryan and I went outside where we found a bunch of French people, including Jean and Ziff, and we got to meet Musty. I was kind of shy, but Ryan was talking a lot and I had a blast just listening to the conversation and enjoying myself being in the company of people with the same interest and just hanging out. Eventually our crew gathered and we made our way back to the event to grab our Bacardi bottles that we purchased earlier in the day and went to have some fun on the hill. After being there for a while, I met Spaza and he offered me some nice rum which I enjoyed, and I gave him some of my Bacardi, and after a while of just chilling and talking to people, we went back to BYOC to play some multi, and after that I went to sleep while Ryan, Vanilla and Salty stayed up a bit more. I'll summarize these last days together since not a lot has happened. On Friday, Casey, Vanilla, Salty, Ran, and I were doing our own thing, not paying much attention to the events that happened, going out and walking around, being in BYOC area and going to the hill. On Saturday it was pretty much the same, except we sat around for some matches in the 1v1 tournament and watched the finals, where Shikitora was playing against Itki, and afterwards it was business as usual. Sunday was the last day of the event, and after being there for a little bit, Vanilla and I packed up our stuff and left around 12 PM and had the most gruesome walk back to the train station with our heavy ass bags, and a 20-minute walk to the station ended up being 40 minutes as we tried not to die from exhaustion. We got on the bus and said our goodbyes as my stop was nearing, and we took a small walk to the hotel. I actually ended up going out with Casey to explore Eindhoven later that day, and we enjoyed ourselves while walking around town and talking about all the awesome memories we'd gathered during this 1 week. We split up around 7 PM and I spent the rest of my night watching Breaking Bad on Netflix and having the best sleep for that entire week. Finally sleeping in a nice cozy bed rather than an air mattress. I woke up the next day and got ready to leave for the airport where I met Throttle, and we talked a little bit about the event, YouTube, etc. before I went to the security gate and he stayed a little bit more in the terminal. I flew back home, thinking about all the awesome new friends I made, and all the experiences that I thought I'd never experience. Overall, I loved the event and all the people I met there, and I'll surely be going there next year. However, I had some stuff I didn't like and I hope they will be fixed next year. Hopefully next year will be even better and I'll get to attend with all my friends again. Thanks to all the thought players who took time out of their day to take pictures with me, and thank all of you for sticking around and watching, and I hope we see each other next time.